What was there was
unless they're those fucking morons that put gasoline in grocery
plastic bags.
or in fucking laundry baskets.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
or the big plastic tubs.
What was some eBay recently banned or took down some other stuff a few weeks ago that seemed completely innocuous.
Yeah, they've been going after like anime as well, and like manga and figures. Like now they won't sell. What were the two? They won't sell. I'm trying to remember the specifically two. Nico Robin from One Piece. They won't sell Nico Robin figures anymore.
He's a heretic, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
There was something where
there was like a kids one that didn't even look like it would be offensive, but they were trying to say that it was promoting child sexual whatever, pedophilia and everything.
Yeah, I thought there was something where like some other site took something off. I feel like it had maybe something to do with what's her name from Star Wars? Shoot, I forgot. I don't know. There was something else. I'll eventually remember it. That like people were trying to sell something that was completely innocuous, and they took it down for no apparent reason. I don't remember. eBay's weird.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that they had something saying that the stuff that's on there isn't indicative of eBay's positions, but who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, but apparently it is because
the first one that got banned was Leisure Suit Larry Magnum Cum Laud. And we were talking about this one before we got banned. It's like, I'm surprised you can even make a Leisure Suit Larry game in the modern day. It's honestly not that bad, but it crosses the line of these kind of like puritanical assholes.
Pretty sure that it's on the Switch, nonetheless.
That's because Nintendo isn't puritanical assholes. They just want to make sure that they keep their 0 rating for their games.
That one, though, came out in 2004.
Yep.
That's an old one.
Yep. Well, they have an uncut PC edition that's been circulating on eBay lately. Probably because of the new one that's coming out.
Yeah, there's a new one. Let's see. There was one in 2009 called Box Office Bust.
Mm-hmm.
There's another new one coming out?
Or whenever the last one was. We were talking about one like a few weeks ago.
It's an even more recent one. They come out with these like every 4 years.
Yeah, but because there was a new one coming out, and eBay is a resale place, the uncut edition of Magnum Cum Laude has been going around, and it's been banned.
Mm-hmm.
Also, anything that has a rating of X, XXX, R18, or unrated for adult-only audience has been banned, whether it's a game, a movie, or anything whatsoever. Because, children surf this site. It's like, well, why do children have credit cards?
A very small amount of stuff, in all honesty, unless it's explicitly porn. That's still really fucking stupid. Guess what? I could go on to Google, which I'm not going to do because fuck Google. I could go on to DuckDuckGo and type in porn.
Yeah.
Or titties and get pictures of porn or titties.
Now, there are very few titles that even have an AO rating. In fact, the ESRB doesn't even use that rating anymore. It was retired a few years ago.
The last one was, what was it? Was it Manhunt?
It was Manhunt 2. It was Hatred and then Manhunt 2.
Oh, you're right. The most recent Leisure Suit Larry is on the Switch.
Mhm.
It's called Wet Dreams Drive Twice.
Yeah, and that's the game why some of the older ones have been circulating around again.
Oh, okay.
But modern games...
That's not even porn. I mean,
no, it's not.
Those games are really tame. They're just very suggestive, and they have, raunchy jokes.
Well, I mean,
and it wouldn't get AO today. One, we don't have AO anymore. But even then, I barely would think it would get M17 rating.
No, probably just get a regular M.
Or yeah, regular M, probably.
Yeah. In fact, I mean, is it rated? Isn't it rated? Is it not rated?
I think it has to be rated to be on the Switch. Like, they don't care what the rating is, but you do have to have a proper rating for it to be on the store.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's rated. I don't feel like hunting down my Switch to check.
Yeah.
But pretty
It's on
sure
Steam as well.
Yeah, they don't let unrated games on the store.
I just wish,
Where are
like,
they?
I'm glad they do that, but I wish, they'd put more effort into their store actually,
Functioning?
not being shitty. Yeah, that one, the functioning.
Yeah, it's hard to find things if you don't know what you're looking for, right? If you know exactly what you're looking for, you could just search it, and there's no problem. The search functions just fine. But when it comes to, like, browsing, their browsing pages are shit.
There's no reason that it should have trouble loading what it's looking at if it's plugged in to a hardwired connection. Like, that should not be a thing.
Also, your wish list should be more for than just you. You've got a friends list, right? Your friends should be able to see what's on your friend's wish list and be like, I want to drop $1 right here for you.
That'd be
This
neat.
game's on sale.
That would be cool.
Which they would be able to do easily if there was still some type of networking like Miiverse or something around.
But we can't have Miiverse because, instead of parents, actually monitoring what their children are doing, it's all on Nintendo's fault for pedophiles contacting children.
Apparently, though, this ban for games won't affect the Australian game rating of R18 because apparently it means something else. I guess it's the equivalent of M17 plus over here because they also have an RC, which is rated, basically, refused classification, and X specifically.
Okay, so according to the ESRB website, the Leisure Suit Larry Magna Cum Laude Uncut and Uncensored has an AO rating.
Yes, but that would have also been back when AO was still being used as a rating.
Well,
yeah.
All the other ones do have an M17 plus.
Mm-hmm. And it's specifically because that's the uncut version. It's got like added stuff in there that didn't make it to the initial version of the game.
Yeah.
I don't know why different places use ratings that look identical, but they mean different things. Because I believe the Europeans also use R18 as a rating service, and so does Australia. But their R18 means two different things. Because the European R18 basically means adult only.
Can't imagine what you'd have to do to get an R18 rating in Europe.
Probably not much if you look at the way the EU's been going.
Yeah, but I don't know. I've been to France. There's
Yeah.
stuff that would be R-rated here, like just up on billboards and stuff.
Yes, but what you have to consider is the European standard for game stuff has to do with the EU. It's not any individual company or country or anything like that. It's all the European sales within the EU have the same standard. So just because some countries like France let you have nude things on billboards and stuff doesn't mean that you can put that in your game and get a good rating.
Yeah. It's funny because the Europeans used to make fun of the US for being puritanical and,
Well, you also got to look at a large amount of the immigrating populace to the EU,
Yeah.
It's very,
and they've
Very,
got
Very,
to,
very
they've
conservative,
got
to put it lightly.
yeah, they don't want to see any ankle. Oof, scandalous.
Ankles are pretty fucking sexy.
This is true.
Right.
It's not the ankle so
Man.
much, right? It's that Achilles tendon, the way the curve of the back right there. That's the sexy part.
Yeah, I'm looking at mine. It's pretty sexy.
Can't see ankle, but you can still wear the tightest possible jeans, which to me does not make sense.
Or jeggings.
Yeah, it's the skin. That's why. Like they don't like women wearing heels in general, but if you're wearing like a heeled boot that goes all the way up to the knee, as long as there's no skin showing, they don't care. They will claim that you are trying to tempt them from God's way, though.
Mm-hmm.
They're looking specifically.
Well,
at
honestly, I haven't played Leisure Suit Larry games since probably high school, just because there's such puerile humor. Kind of what?
Kind of cringy.
Cringy.
Yeah.
They're meant to be.
Yeah.
But I don't like that. I liked that kind of humor when I was a teenager, but
yeah, it's like Family Guy. It's like, the first time you see it when you're young, it's kind of funny, but then you kind of outgrow it.
Yeah.
It's not like the lasting power of South Park.
Or Futurama.
That's right.
Yeah.
I know, I still make Futurama jokes to this day.
Yo, Futurama's great.
Nah, whenever somebody says I'm awesome or something, I always respond, "Shut up, baby, I know it," and I and walk away because you have to.
Yeah, I mean, you really can't let it. You can't let it linger. You just gotta.
That's
You
right.
gotta leave.
Just the other day, I told someone, "Tell my wife I said hello."
Yep.
If I don't survive.
When he got
Whalers on the moon,
nuked
we
by a
carry-
boss.
That's right. Damn neutrals.
Bring the
So
whales,
neutral.
we tell tall tales and sing our wailing. Fucking words.
Words.
So, are we done with that topic?
Yeah, I don't
Can
know how
bring up
much we
something
have
else?
to add to this other than that it's fucking stupid. Again, like,
Yeah.
why would it matter? eBay should be a site that only adults are using anyway. If you're and it used to be that way. You had to say that you were 18 to use eBay.
It's game night. I'm hopping off. Y'all have fun.
Oh, okay.
See ya.
Go complain the whole time.
Okay. Well, Forrest will. I won't.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, you'll be complaining on the inside.
Very true. Later.
See ya. That was a lot
Anyway,
of
that was
boxes
it.
in a
Yeah.
in a
Also-
cat hotel behind him.
We got so distracted that I never introduced the show. Welcome to the Vomitorium, everyone. As always, I am your host, The Metal, and joining me is my co-host, Marsupial Gamer. And for a short period at the beginning, I guess the 14-minute intro now, we were joined by Duggernaut, who hasn't been here in a while. It's nice to see him.
Yeah, only 14 minutes though.
Only 14 minutes.
Not too bad.
We've gone in later.
I was admiring his little cat. I don't know what you call it. Hotel thing
Yeah.
back there. Does he have a cat?
Yeah. His cat tree.
Oh, he
His
does?
cat's name is Majora.
Cat tree. Oh, neat.
Yeah. We're all big Zelda people around here.
Yeah, my dog's name is Navi. So.
We had a cat named Navi. She's dead. Just torn apart by a dog.
Oof.
Yeah.
Well, our dog is a little Chihuahua, so she's not gonna tear anything apart.
Actually, it's the small dogs that usually do. It was a dachshund that got. Well, dachshunds are also like incredibly vicious. Chihuahuas are mostly loud.
Yeah.
They nip at the heels, but
Yeah. I think she thinks he's a cat, though. She never barks. Very, very quiet
yeah.
and sweet. So, Portal 2 update.
What?
They actually updated Portal 2.
Why?
Are you ready?
Yeah.
All it does, it removes the 100 megabyte workshop file size limit, which could be
that's
huge
good
for the modding. Yeah.
That's fucking fantastic.
Yeah. For the modding community. I mean, I don't know.
It's literally the only thing that's been holding that game back from longevity, because it's been hitting its limit of what you can do with just 100 megs.
Yeah. Now, that game I played, Portal Reloaded, I don't think that was just a mod. That was like...
Was it its own executable?
It was.
Yeah, okay, then that's more than just a mod, yeah.
Yeah.
It might be mod-based. They might have taken a base of the game and made it, but...
Yeah. I don't even understand how they can be allowed, if they're maybe only allowed to do it if it's free, or...
Maybe. I know Valve is pretty loose about stuff.
Yeah. But I imagine something like that couldn't have been done as just a mod, because it was a huge game, way more than 100 megs. So, presumably...
Or it'd have to be done as, like, many different mods compiled on top of each other, but the problem with that is it could break the game. It's better to just be its own executable, especially if you don't load the mods up in the right order.
Yeah. Yeah, so...
what is
Go
Portal
to it, modder.
Rick, have you never heard of Portal?
Oh my goodness.
Okay, Portal is one of Valve's headlining games. Most people know Valve is the company that owns Steam, but they have made games too. A lot of people ended up playing Portal through the Orange Box set that came with like 3 different games, including Team Fortress. And Half-Life 2, I believe, was already out by the time the Portal... the Orange Box came out. I don't think it was the original Half-Life. But there are 3 big main games that people know Valve for are Half-Life, Portal, which is technically a spin-off of Half-Life. It takes place in the same world. It's a competing lab, but it's joint lore. And Team Fortress, which everybody knows for Team Fortress 2. The most popular... I guess you would call him a hero shooter, because you select your character. It's kind of like what Overwatch was based on. And Portal was really cool because you were a test subject that was stuck in the lab with the robot. That's the only thing left from the original laboratory. And GLaDOS, the robot, is running tests on you. And you're given this portal gun, and you have to navigate through the entire lab running GLaDOS's tests with a gun that fires out 2 different portals, a blue and an orange, and they lead into each other. So you have to use the portals to get through very complicated puzzles that you would actually call this a 4th dimensional puzzle, because you're warping space. You're using a wormhole or a 4th dimensional portal to get around a 3D space.
Yeah. It's pretty awesome.
Very fun game. Portal 2 was fun because not only did it extend the original game's motives, like where you're going through and you're doing the same stuff with more challenging puzzles, but it also had a multiplayer mode where you were playing as 2 robots that were doing the test subject. I'm assuming canonically the multiplayer mode happens after the single player, because Shell finally makes it out. It's like, okay, I'm not dealing with humans anymore. They're a pain in the ass. We're going with robots. And each one of them have their own 2-colored portal guns, so that you are operating separately from each other or in tandem, because some of the puzzles you need 2 different portals for both people. And the puzzles become... I wouldn't say they're harder, but they are more complex because you're using 2 people.
Yeah.
And also with Portal 2, there finally was a cake. It was not a lie.
That's right. And in Portal 2, they added the propulsion gels.
Yes. Oh man, those are so fun.
Yeah. So you could basically paint a surface, and if you painted it blue, you'd bounce on it. If you painted it orange, it would make you go really fast.
Off. Yeah. And it also had the white. The white gel became very prominent because it was the moon rock, which you need to actually put a portal on, and you're painting walls to actually figure out, oh hey, this wall wasn't portable before, but now it is.
Yeah, portalable.
Portalable. Yeah. Well, the best part is it teaches you. It's like, oh, it's because the walls are made of moon rocks, and then there's that part at the end where it's like, I see the moon. I'm firing my portal at it. Clearly, it's made of moon rock.
Yeah, that's right.
That's the solution to
that's
the
why
problem.
You're able to shoot a portal onto the moon.
Yeah.
And beam there instantly.
Yeah. Fuck you, Wheatley.
No, well, he's in space now.
Yeah. I preferred GLaDOS after meeting you.
That's right. Yeah, there was an actual storyline Portal 2. But you're right. I played a lot of Portal 2 multiplayer with my son on PlayStation 2, and that is exactly how the story goes. So she ejects shell, and then creates 2 robots, or I guess she had already had them sort of in the works, and she has the 2 robots work together as test subjects.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the best part of Portal 2 is that there really wasn't much of a storyline in the original Portal, but Portal 2 retroactively gave the original more of a storyline through its existence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And there's been, it's been forever. I don't even know when Portal 2 came out. It must have been 20 years ago, almost. But not 2015.
Yeah, I don't think it would be 20, because it definitely would be probably closer to the transition of the PS2 to the PS3. 15 sounds a lot closer.
Yeah, but it's been alive and well. Everyone's like, when's Portal 3 coming out? There hasn't really been a need for it because the modding community has been
2011.
So...
So actually only a decade ago. Portal 1 was probably closer to 15 years. Yeah.
Gosh, seems like so long ago. So, okay, 10 years ago. So, but yeah, and I can't believe Rick obviously didn't watch me play Portal Reloaded a couple of weeks ago on my channel. If you want to go back and watch, there was a mod, more than a mod, they completely changed the game and released it as a separate game. And this was just a fan game, basically.
Yeah. The original was 2007. That's probably where the age was coming at you.
Yeah. So yeah, in Portal Reloaded, they added a time portal aspect.
Which technically, it's still 4-dimensional, but you're also adding in a completely different, not vector, which would be the axes here. What would be the term for that? Because you're doubling up. You have 2 different grids now, right? You have 2 different 4th-dimensional grids.
Yeah, basically every puzzle consists of the same room, but just one in the past and one in the present. And they can, obviously, if you move anything in the past, it affects the present.
Mm-hmm.
But if you move things in the present, it does not affect the past. No, wait. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So it's like, everybody always says, when you start dealing with time that's adding another dimension, it's like, no, because time isn't really a dimension. Time is what we track the axes of dimensions along. So if you go through time, you're actually just displacing the grid, right? You're not. It is the vector itself. You're not adding another axis there.
It's not a spatial dimension.
Yeah.
So, but it does, like the tagline of that Portal Reloaded game is whatever, thinking in 4 dimensions or something like that. So,
yeah.
Whatever.
But that's a very improper way of thinking of time, and pop culture always thinks of time that way.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, that'll be cool to see what modders are able to do. Oh, it says right here in the article, Portal 2 is now 10 years old.
Yep.
That they've increased. I guess there's no.
It would have been very recently too, because it was just last month that it turned 10, April 11th.
Yeah, this article's from 6 hours ago.
Yeah.
They just, and in fact, I did get the update this morning on Steam, because I check Steam every day for updates. I'm obsessive like that. But I saw the Portal 2 update, and I was like, that's weird. And I thought maybe they're just fixing bugs or something, but no, apparently they're getting rid of the file size limit.
I should update it. Well, actually, I don't think I currently have it installed, so I wouldn't be getting an update. I haven't played Portal 2 in so long. that I have absolutely no reason to have it installed. But if I see some like really wicked mods that people are doing with this new, no limit, then I'll re-download Portal 2 and I'll play some shit. Let's go.
Yeah, I played a few mods of it. I mean, I think isn't Gary's mod a Portal mod?
No.
Oh,
Gary's mod is further back than that.
okay.
Yeah. Well, Gary's mod is everything's a mod of Gary's mod. It is Valve's engine, basically, that they use to make Half-Life, Portal, and Team Fortress. And Gary's mod is just a executable of the engine that's got pre-made stuff, and you can put your own stuff in there that just lets you play around with it.
Yeah.
It's Source. It's to let you. The Source engine is what they call it. That's all it is. Gary's mod is just a sandbox of the Source engine.
Yeah. Well, anyway, it'll be cool.
Yeah.
To see other Portal.
Yeah.
Mods.
It's like, why am I spacing on the engine name? Oh, that's because it's such a simple fucking name.
Source. Yeah. So I have an update on a previous story we did.
What is it?
Remember when Blizzard was going to charge $35 to transfer your character from vanilla WoW Classic to Burning Crusade?
Yeah, did enough people bitch about it and they lowered the price?
Yep, they lowered it to $15.
That is not ridiculous. Considering like the cost of other things in WoW, that's not ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah, 35 was pushing it.
Mm-hmm.
They said
like, if you were to ask me, I probably would have even accepted 20. Like, if you were really pushing towards the edge. So 15 just sounds okay.
Yes. So they announced that yesterday. So go and transfer your character if you still play WoW, which I don't.
Yeah. or don't transfer your character. Because the whole point of WoW Classic is kind of to stay in vanilla, which you still can.
Mm-hmm.
But they're trying to get you all over again, the way they did the first time.
Yeah, I mean, at least this time around they're not forcing you, so you can stay in vanilla if you want and not pay any transfer fees. So,
well, I know because I was watching one of Grum's streams, and he was concerned that by releasing the Burning Crusade, this is before we found out that you could stay in vanilla. This was a while back. That it was just repeating the same shit all over again, and this is everything that's wrong with WoW. Mm-hmm. But I haven't seen his opinion since he found out.
Yeah, although from what I've read of people's opinions who have opinions about WoW, I don't really have an opinion, but except that I know it's gone to shit.
I haven't had an opinion on WoW for years.
Yeah, but most people consider Burning Crusade to be the best expansion.
Yeah. Well, there's a heavy debate. It's either vanilla or Burning Crusade. There's like probably some niche people past that point here and there, but the vast majority, it's either vanilla or Burning Crusade.
Mm-hmm. Rick says, I just got it. You mean you just got Portal 2? If you just got Portal 2, I would actually highly recommend checking out Portal 1 first. Because it's simpler.
It is.
I mean,
I think somebody who hasn't played Portal 1, as long as they take their time and really pay attention, shouldn't have any problem playing the single player for Portal 2. I would definitely play through the single player or Portal 1 first before hopping into the multiplayer for Portal 2, though. Because that gets complicated, and you really need to know what you're doing before you do that.
Mm-hmm. But I think Portal 1 is free. I feel like, maybe.
I know it's been periodically free. I don't know if it's become permanently.
Yeah. But I mean, just for, I don't know. I played Portal 1 first, and I really enjoyed it. And then when I played Portal 2, it was just like blown away.
Yeah.
You know?
I would recommend that order. It's like your problem with playing some of the games that you've been playing recently. playing a better version of a game and then going back and playing a simpler version. Or I use Kingdom Hearts usually as the standard for this. A lot of people will play Kingdom Hearts 2 first, and they'll go back and play Kingdom Hearts 1. It was like, well, Kingdom Hearts 1 was a great game. You just played the better game first. That's improved a lot on things.
Yeah. Well, I'll gift it to you, Rick.
Yeah, it's really cheap.
Can't imagine how much it costs, but yeah, I mean that's all I'm saying is that I enjoyed Portal 1 when I first played it because that was the first of the 2-part series that I played. I feel like if I went back, if I hadn't played it first, I wouldn't have enjoyed it as much. So I mean,
because you feel like by the comparison, these puzzles are kind of boring.
Yeah, but there's a twist in Portal 1, right? Because like 2/3 of the way in, it completely changes. Oh, it's like you're going through these puzzles and everything. It's like and then all of a sudden, like everything gets turned on its head, and it's like, oh my god, I did not expect that.
They kind of do the same thing in Portal 2, though the twist comes a lot sooner in Portal 2, and I think it's because they felt they already got you in the first one, so they got to shift things up.
Yeah, that's the thing. With Portal 1, it's like the first 2/3 of the game are one way, and then the last third is completely different.
While 2 is actually broken up into like 3 acts where there's like a big shift in things in each third of the game.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, Portal 2's one of the best.
That twist in Portal 1 would also lose a lot of weight if you played Portal 2 first as well.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
And the ending was cool. I mean,
if you want, I won't say no.
Okay. Well, just wait until after the show. I'll send it to you.
There's also the Rat Man.
Well, that was like a comic that they made in between, right?
Yeah, but the lore for him was already like scattered in the world. You can find little bits and pieces of him if you're actually looking. Yeah. But the what happened? I mean, the ending of Portal 1 is awesome. It's after I've played through it so many times, and now I can just practically do it with my eyes closed. But it was a challenge the first time. Like, what am I supposed to be doing here, and how do I do it? It was pretty cool. And when you play Portal 1, you finally understand that cringy internet meme that went on for like decades of, the cake is a lie.
That's right. Yeah, you'll finally understand what that means.
It's actually one of the rules of the internet. That's how old, like 2007. Because I think the rules of the internet came out in 2008.
And then when you play the second one, you'll learn all about the companion cube and all the memes about that.
It's heavy for a reason.
Was there a game theory about that? About what was in the companion?
I don't really think a theory was much needed though. They kind of explicitly tell you if you're paying attention.
Really?
What's in the cube? Yeah.
I don't remember. I thought it was just a cute little cube. What's in the cube? What's in the cube?
But that's cool. Like, Valve's always been very, very supportive of the modern community. I mean, as you could tell, they even have the workshop in the first place, and they will even curate and display mods that they think are cool. Because I know one of the coolest things about PC gaming is being able to mod games. And it's nice to see that even a game that's a decade old, they're like, no. We can use strong modding community. We still want to support you. That limit was there because there had to be a limit a decade ago. Let's just take it off.
Makes sense. I mean, two of my favorite games ever, like just I guess not necessarily like my favorite, they're not like the best games ever or anything like that. But like my favorite games to play casually are Don't Starve and Oxygen Not Included. And the mods for those games are the most amazing part about them, frankly. I just love, like, oh my god, the Don't Starve mods. People have made it so you can build almost anything. It's incredible.
And they know, like,
They practically-
it's not as big of a chunk as people like to claim. It's probably maybe half, which is still a big chunk. But like half of people who choose to play on PC, they choose to play on PC because modding is an option. It's not because it's like, you know, I'm a PC guy, I've already got a PC, why bother getting a console? That's like half of people. The other half is like, look at this shit I can do on here that you can't do on your console.
Yeah, and Stardew Valley. It's another one I thought of.
Which I actually just picked
Like
up. I do have Stardew Valley now.
Oh, cool. You want me to send you my list of mods that I like?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to play it vanilla for a while, and then if I want to add some mods, I will. Because I haven't played it in years since I lived back in Arlington. Last time I played the game was around the time that I was running the Vomitorium the first time. So like 2015 or something like that. And I was playing on the PlayStation. I kind of just want to slip back into the game slowly.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, I have Stardew on my Switch, which I very much enjoyed playing on the Switch for a while. And after, you know, just having played it for so long, I started playing it on PC and started trying out the mods. And I was like, oh my God, it's like a whole new game. It's just, it's amazing. So yeah, it's always cool when the community makes improvements. I never like to do like total game breaking mod. I like to do just little quality of life things. Just make this thing a little bit easier. Just make it so I don't have to worry about that. And, you know.
Like, I don't like automation, but I don't mind things that, like, it'll keep track of stuff for you. Like, oh, here, I have the exact quantity in the corner, so I don't have to run all the way back to see how much I have and stuff like that. That's fine.
Yeah. In Stardew, that's my favorite mod, is the automation mod.
Yeah.
I like to just put things in crates or put things in chests and just, like, forget about it. Like, that will eventually get converted into that, and I don't have to think about it. But only because I did play through like the whole game without that, and did it all manually, and that was fun for a while. And I was just like, okay, if I really want to get into this game, I'm gonna get that on it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just me. There's also some cool mods for Stardew in particular that like completely, you know, that change the graphics and change icons and do all kinds of cool stuff.
Well, speaking of mods, right, and can improve people's experiences, as you know, I finally don't hate Final Fantasy VI for Steam anymore. Because I found a mod that actually completely like changes the way the graphics look, and it's no longer ugly to me. And that was my biggest problem with that game, was how ugly it was. I don't mind the menus as much as you do. And stuff like that. I'm pretty adaptable to menus. I don't even mind the battle screen with the heads and stuff like that. I just cared how ugly the game looked for the mobile version.
No, obviously we tried it together.
Yeah.
Offline, and I was very impressed. It looks great. It looks so much better than the horrible port. Like, it's got to be the worst port of all the Final Fantasies, which is, you know, to Windows, which is a shame because that was the best one.
Yeah, it's like even five suffers in a lot of the same ways, but then this one for 6 does extra like dumbassery on top of it.
Yeah, it's like they took the mobile version and they just said, here, plop exactly as is.
Yeah.
On Windows, and it's like, wait a minute, there's still touch screen controls on the screen.
Yeah.
What the hell? Like, it's not mobile. Why did they leave the touchscreen controls on there?
Well, you know, a lot of people have touch screens for their computer monitors now if they have a laptop or whatever. So let's leave it on there.
Play the game. Like, okay, I'm gonna push the button, play the. You know, I'm not gonna play it like that. But I
actually did play a game like that. One of my older laptops that doesn't work anymore did have a touchscreen on it, and I was playing like a cookie clicker game, and I was just like tired of clicking my mouse button, and the touchscreen was so sensitive on my computer screen that I could basically just do this. Just barely take it off and put it back on, and it was count as clicking. So I was just like poking the screen, and then after I was done, I was like, man, that's smudged. So I went off and get like a wipe. And
Yeah. Well, what's interesting is I actually have, when I realized after we were messing with that mod, I have the Final Fantasy VI mobile version on my iPad.
yeah,
And it's it has the ugly graphic that you don't like.
yeah.
But I remembered I actually played it, and it's decent to play on iPad because it has some decent touchscreen controls and stuff. But, it does have
Why
the
would
ugly
you want
graphic.
that on Windows, though?
I wouldn't.
Maybe one of the other reasons that they put it on there is because of Steam Link. Because you can stream certain games to other devices. So if you own it on stream, maybe that's one of the games that will let you Steam Link it to your phone.
We really wouldn't want to play it on the phone.
Yeah. I mean,
But
why
okay.
would you want to play the Steam version on your phone when you could have just gotten it on the phone anyway, straight from Square?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it was just laziness.
Yeah.
But yeah, so are you going to play that and stream it or something?
I don't know. Dude, I'm so behind. I got to go finish Octopath Traveler. I still haven't finished that. I've got to play Pokemon Snap. And I'm just working on so many things that it's like, when do I find time to actually stream?
I don't know. Well, are you going to play it?
Oh,
No?
yeah. I'll eventually play it. I started it.
You know what other game is 10 years old? Apparently? Terraria.
Oh, yeah. To be more specific, there's a lot of games that are 10 years old.
Oh. Well, apparently Terraria just came out with a final update to celebrate its 10-year anniversary.
Yeah, they even had an update not too long ago, too, like a couple of years, a huge update to the system. So it's not like they stopped supporting it or anything like that.
Yeah, I
like
tried to
Terraria.
get into Terraria. I don't know.
It's better
I
with
need to
other
be-
people.
I guess so.
Yeah.
The problem is I can't even get into Minecraft. I've tried to get into Minecraft.
Well, because Terraria, you don't have to play like Minecraft, right? Like there's building and stuff like that, but you don't have to do that. Especially when you have other people, you can kind of leave that to other people because you really only need one housing facility because you make rooms for each NPC. Like you don't really need it for yourself. Maybe one bed that you can mark for respawning. Terraria, you can actually play more like a exploration RPG, right? And it has more RPG mechanics than Minecraft does. You find hearts to increase your health in like a Zelda type way. You get shooting stars that you can use to increase your mana. You can actually get spells and stuff. You get better equipment that do more damage, take more damage. There are world bosses and stuff that you could do. And you and a party of people can just start descending into hell on an adventure. Like, it's fun with people. I used to play a lot of Terraria. I'm somebody who can't get into Minecraft. But Terraria, you can play fun.
Yeah. Maybe one day.
Yeah.
Well, are they going to come out if they're not going to do any more updates? Are they doing a Terraria 2?
I don't know. I'd be down to try a Terraria 2, though, whatever would be in store for that.
It's weird that they're saying this is the last update because it's like, it strikes me as a game kind of like Stardew Valley where that guy seems to be like, oh yeah, I'm just going to update this forever.
Yeah.
So I'm sick of it, I guess.
Because the game just they kept adding more and more post-game things, as you would call it. Because technically the final boss in Terraria is the Wall of Flesh, where you go down to hell and you fight a literal wall of flesh that starts from one side like a demon wall and pushes all the way to the other side of the map. And if you get squished by it, you're dead. And you're just you're basically just trying to chunk health off of it while jumping, like platforming across lava and stuff like that. And it's actually a pretty intense boss fight. A lot of Terraria actually kind of reminds me of like a Metroidvania type game, but instead of being in a predefined zone where you have to navigate, you can dig tunnels and get there yourself. But a lot of the combat with the weapons that you get, and you can even get projectile weapons and stuff. It's very, very similar to a Metroidvania game.
Cool.
Yeah.
I say that, but then I realize Stardew Valley is only 5 years old.
Yeah.
So I bet he's probably going to get sick of doing updates in another 5 years.
Yeah. It's like, I'm just ready to move on to my next game, guys.
Yeah, exactly. So if Terraria has been around for 10 years, which surprises me, it's that old, I didn't realize.
Yeah, it surprised me too. I remember playing it like when it came out, and I forgot that it was that long ago. It was like right after I got out of college.
Yeah, I'd never played it until very recently, like the last year or two. It's been around.
Yep.
I can't believe it's been around as long as Portal 2. That's crazy.
Well, it's a very simple game too, right? It's like looking at Stardew Valley. It's hard to know how old Stardew Valley is without looking it up, because the game looks so simple. Like, this could have been made anytime between like 2005 and now.
Could have been made in 1995.
Yeah.
I mean, the graphics are...
Well, graphically, but I'm also talking about like with the update capacity and stuff like that.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's hard to tell.
And I think I say 2005 specifically because that's about the time when simple engines like RPG Maker enabled you to send auto updates to people.
Yeah. Auto updates to be... Oh, you mean like updates
Patches
to the
stuff,
game?
without you having to go to
Patches.
like your site and download the update and install it to the file and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. That's cool. Like, that's something we take for granted so much these days.
Yeah, because PC's been able to patch and fix things for a long time compared to console. But even then, for a long time, you had to go to like the developer's website and find the patch and install it to your copy of the game. And there's a lot of old games that if you were to just install it without like going onto the Pirate Bay or something and finding it with all the patches already assembled, that you just could not fix a problem because the patch might not be around anymore. Because the developer site might not be around, somebody may not have archived it. There's some games that are just broken that you can't fix.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's kind of like some of the games on... Like, GOG has done a real good job of keeping up with, or, holding on, I guess, including patches in the game when they sell it. Because I know some of the old, like, Ultima and Doom games and stuff that I've gotten on GOG always come with the, not always the most recent patch, but, like, the most recent official patch.
Yeah, the most stable.
I've sometimes gone out and like found newer like fan patches that even improve things.
Well, Steam's been pretty good about that too. I don't think they let you put old games on there if the game isn't stable. So if you had like a patch or something for it, it has to be included in the distribution of the game.
Right.
But yeah, PC gaming used to be a nightmare back in the day. Clock Tower, the PC version of it, number 2, had a patch you had to go and get. Asylum as well, the Asylum series. One of the Asylum games, I think it might have even been the original Asylum, was unfinishable without a patch from the developer site.
Mm-hmm. Well, I remember, I think it was Ultima 8 I bought from the store, and I somehow found that they released an update, like a major patch that totally changed it turned an almost unplayable game into a playable game. And I found it on a BBS before the internet existed, bulletin board system.
Yeah.
And then I went I think to Gen Con in Milwaukee that year, and there was like an Origin booth. And they like gave me they were like, "You have Ultima 8?" It's like, "Yeah, here you go." And they just handed me, a floppy disk that had the patch on it. And I was like, "I already have it, but thanks." But yeah, you used to have to search for those things if they existed at all. They used, game developers used to have to actually release finished games with all the
You
bugs
used
fixed.
to actually also have to have a website just in case you thought your finished game was good, but then it turned out, no, I still got to patch it.
Well, I'm talking
Now,
about
you
before
don't
there
need a
were
website anymore.
True.
A lot of them
Although
still
if you're
do that
smart, you
because,
do.
like, yeah, I mean, it's good for business in general. It's also good for customer service because, like, do you really want to have to go through Steam customer service where the customer sends a ticket, Steam redirects it to your email, you got to make sure that you pick it up in the first place? If you have your own site for stuff like that, it's just easier.
Yeah.
And any major company has their own website.
Mm-hmm.
But back in the day, you kind of had to have one. A lot of companies, too, they would have, like, their own forum on there that people would go and talk. Very few of them do. Square still has a forum. Square Enix. That you can go and talk to people about.
My company had a forum when we were still selling our game engine.
As you should.
We had a very active forum where we actually
I need to make a forum.
answer technical questions.
Yeah. I need to make a forum for X Dynamis Chaos and somehow integrate it into my website.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Forget what forum software you use.
I know there is one that WordPress.com lets you integrate from their end, but I think you have to have the business model, not the. I don't have the personal use. I actually have the professional. I just don't have the business subscription.
Mm-hmm.
But I do believe under professional, I can still add a forum. I just have to do the work on my own end.
Yeah. Well,
That's what I need to do.
and speaking of more updates, Final Fantasy XIV has coming out with a 4th expansion.
Yeah. Yes, the Endwalker.
I know nothing about it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've been looking at that for a while. I kind of want to get into it. My problem is that it's just so expensive to keep up with Final Fantasy XIV because it is a subscription model. And anybody who's had experience playing subscription model MMOs, it's like, it's a commitment. You don't want to pay for it unless you know you're going to be spending the time on it.
Yeah, seriously. And I'm just, I'm definitely not getting into another Final Fantasy game.
Yeah. Though, you know what's actually an easy one to get into is Final Fantasy XI, which was on sale recently, and you can get the whole suite for like $10, and it'll give you like a free month of subscription or whatever they're doing for 11.
So they've got 2 MMOs running right now?
Yes,
like
it's just
actively?
11's not supported anymore.
Oh. Not supported.
Like it's running, it's just not they're not getting updates or fixes or anything like that. It's basically only community support.
Mm-hmm. But they're actually like Square Enix servers.
Yeah. And you can pick up the whole thing on Steam for like $10, I think. I don't know if the sale stopped yet, but I saw it on sale and I'm like, fuck, I need to get it. Like this is a good time to pick it up. And I do want to play it again. I loved 11. I enjoyed 11 more than I enjoyed 14 when I was playing during the free trial. I think the system was better. 11 plays a lot like 12, which I think I've told you this before. The classes are also straightforward. They're not like... 14 has this weird like class builder system where you start with like a base class. You can switch your class at any time, but it's not like collecting job points and abilities. It's you just switch what class you are. And you have to level a class up to prestige into one of the better classes. So like if you want to be a monk, you have to start out as a pugilist, which is, it's just a fist fighter. And stuff like that.
Interesting. Flit made it for the last, 10 minutes or so. Welcome.
While with 11, it's just like, if you want to be a red mage, you can just be a fucking red mage. And then you don't have to worry about, like, the weird collecting black and white orbs to do your black and white magic in combat system that the red mage has to focus on in 14.
Mm-hmm.
You just use MP to throw out spells.
Yeah.
11's a great game.
Or,
I loved 11.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I never got around to it.
I played it for years on somebody else's account.
I follow a Twitch streamer who apparently lives in Japan. She's an American that lives in Japan and almost always plays Final Fantasy 14, like in the middle of the night. So
Yeah.
it looks interesting whenever I pop in and watch. But I was trying to figure out like what all the classes are in 6, since they don't explicitly state
And
what classes people are.
Well, they do, just not in the version of the game you're playing.
Okay.
In the
Not in the
well, because
original
I
version.
think you probably saw it in when I was showing when you were playing it. In the advanced version, they actually do have everybody's class listed next to them.
Oh, okay.
That was one of the updates they added in.
Oh, interesting.
The primary FFMMO right now is 14. That is the current up-to-date MMO for Final Fantasy. It's not bad. It's a fun game, but it's a big commitment, especially the way the class system and stuff works, and how much it costs. Luckily, they charge you by the hour of actual game time, so you're not wasting money.
Really?
Yes.
So the more you play, the more they charge?
Well, no, it's like a prepaid card, like a phone. You pay for game hours ahead of time.
But you don't pay for like a month. You pay.
Well,
for
they do
hours?
have a monthly subscription too, but you can just buy game hours if you want. It's like going to Dave and Buster's or something like that, right? You can either pay for the free play where you have like so many hours there where you just swipe the card and lets you play the game, or you can buy the equivalent of tokens that you can swipe and play games until you run out of tokens.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's an adjustable model.
That's smart, because
at least that's how it was before A Realm Reborn. I don't know if they changed the system after they relaunched it. I haven't looked at the pay models since then.
Because that would be great for me, because it's like I don't want to pay a month and then, like you said, like not know if I'm even going to use it, you know?
Yeah.
But if I pay for 20 hours of play, I could use that over a period of a week, or I could use it over a period of 3 months.
Yeah, that's how it was when the game first came out. I don't know if that's still how it is. I haven't looked at the model since then. There are a lot of things changed after they did A Realm Reborn. But they used to give away game hours too. Like if you were looking at sites and stuff like that, you could find like, here's 100 free game hours and stuff like that. You can put the code in and you would get it. That was their way of like drawing people, giveaways and stuff like that, like demoing.
Yeah.
But you get to continue your progress. Yeah, like there's cheap hotels.
The hour.
Yeah.
It sounds like, so what you're saying is, if it's the same, then you had a choice. You could pay for a month, and then you could just play as much as you want for a month. Or
but a lot of things are different. Before A Realm Reborn, you also had a limit to how many hours you could get experience every single day. You could only, I think it was up to like 8 hours a day if you played more. I don't know who would be playing more than 8 hours, but if you played more than 8 hours a day, it would cut off your ability to get experience because they just didn't want people playing longer than that.
Yeah, well,
and the
that wouldn't be a problem
classes
for me.
Worked completely differently before Realm Reborn 2. They basically, with a story, they had a story for it. They basically nuked the world and reset it, like a hard reset.
Yeah, sounded like they just figured that the whole thing was just a big old mess, and they just started over.
And yeah, and Realm Reborn was way popular and actually saved the game, so I don't blame them.
So I don't know what Flit is talking about. Well, we talked a little bit earlier about World of Warcraft deciding to decrease their price to transfer your characters from classic vanilla to classic Burning Crusade. So that might have been what your friends or someone else might have been bitching about, is that they were going to charge $35 and they reduced it to $15.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think Final Fantasy XIV is a better MMO than World of Warcraft anyway. I think 11 is a better MMO than both of them, but, you know.
Well, I really did enjoy World of Warcraft. I mean, I'm not going to say I didn't like it. It's just, you know, it ended up just not being worth my time. So might be worth it to check it out.
And I don't think WoW has evolved enough is the problem, right? Like, I understand people wanting that WoW classic experience, but even like all the changes it's done over the years, it just hasn't kept up with the innovations that have happened in the rest of the MMO market.
Well, I almost, you know, I'm tempted at some point to go and try WoW Classic because the more, you know, I played fairly recently, I mean, a couple years ago, and it all seemed just way too easy. The advancement was too fast, and it just was just, I don't know. There was no challenge. I'm sure that there's challenge once you get to the higher levels, but I didn't have the patience to do that. I wanted challenge from the very beginning, and I wanted, you know, a complex, deep, you know, a deep advancement system like they had originally.
Let's see if I can refine that. I actually saw that in my feed, what he's talking about.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah.
Just like, oh, yeah, we're just going to retcon.
Yeah, it's a complete retcon because they're like, was it trans or were they gay? It was something like that all along.
Yeah. It's like, no, they weren't. You changed it.
Yeah, I can't find it at the moment, but I know what he's talking about. I've seen it.
It's true. It's true. It came out and said, this character is trans. It's like, who cares?
Yeah.
I don't care. Nobody cares.
How does that affect that character too?
Yeah, exactly zero. And it's like, it's almost like they do it just to incite people to get mad so that they can say gamers are terrible.
Yeah,
that seems to be the only.
It would be a very rare occasion for something like this to happen. But if you could tell there was something off about a character the whole time, but you couldn't tell what it was, like it just wasn't clear, and then the developer comes out and it's like, oh, well, this character was actually blank the whole time, and you're like, yeah, that actually kind of makes sense, nobody would care. It's because you could tell there was some intention, you just couldn't tell what the intention was. But when you could tell there wasn't ever an intention there.
And then they just change it. It's just like,
you
know, I'm through with WoW. I'm never going to play that again, probably.
I'm kind of just through with Blizzard. Unless we get a new Rock and Roll Racing and it's actually good. Then I might go back to Blizzard. But until then. Because I doubt we're going to get a Lost Vikings 3.
It's very clear that they're trying to make the what's it called, Amazon or the whatever, the character in Diablo 2 looks basically like a man. The Amazon, looks like a man in a dress, basically, or a skirt.
Well, you could tell who they were trying to cater to ever since Overwatch came out.
Yeah,
it's like we're not the target audience for Blizzard anymore.
I guess not.
Just really a shame, because I really wish I could convince them to make the Lost Vikings again, like a new one. But at the same time, I know it would be shit, so I'm not trying to convince them to make a new Lost Vikings.
Oh, well. I just realized there's a show we were going to send people to after this, isn't there?
Yes, and we're supposed to be over too, but then we got hang up on Blizzard. Right now, John Dillard on Dillard Draws, if you can find the link, you can drop it in the chat, is going to be promoting somebody's book. He's going to be having a conversation for at least the next hour. You know, he doesn't have a set schedule, but it depends how long he can hold this conversation. I don't think he'll give the guy less than an hour, but he may go longer if they actually end up having an interesting conversation.
Links in the chat.
So if you're watching this live, go there. I mean, or if you're listening to this later on, Dillard Draws, really not hard to find on YouTube. If you type in Dillard Draws, it's going to be like the first thing that comes up. I've checked even logged out of YouTube. So yeah, you can check it out. He's always having fun conversations over there whenever he actually does get a chance to stream. And in the meantime, if you enjoy the show, please share it with somebody else who might like it. Or if you really enjoy it, consider giving a donation at streamlabs.com/vomitoriumlive. And we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.